Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Andy Seeks. This is my show. This is my little podcast slash YouTube channel. I don't know exactly what it's going to be yet, but I'm working on building it. I've been teaching myself to edit, teaching myself some basic steps of working around the computer, and we'll see how successful I am. Today, I figure I'll start working with themes. Maybe have a theme for the episode so that things are kind of stay with related. Otherwise, I feel like I just get confused and things are all over the place, or it's not really a theme. Whereas if I have a theme, I guess I can stick to it. All right, so we're doing a work related episode or edition today. Work related, everything related to jobs, and we're gonna get started. So our first story here is an AI startup company. So AI startup Cursor has a no shoes office policy. They're not the sole company doing it. I mostly clicked on this article because the pun made me groan. The sole company doing it. Ugh. Okay, not bad. But let's see. That the company has a no shoes policy, and some startup leaders agreed with the approach, while others brought potential odor issues. Well, and the employees assured that shoe covers and slippers are available at Cursor's entrance. I kind of dig this idea. Well, I do it at home. Are you the type of person who keeps shoes on at home? Do you allow shoes in your house? Like growing up, shoes were worn all over the house, but we had one uncle, Uncle Eddie, and he was really strict. My Uncle Eddie was an interesting guy because he was really strict, and then he would choose the time to be strict because he'd come over the house and hang out before, and we had our shoes off because we'd been hanging out all day. But I remember one time it was like a party, like all of the kids were at a party. We were having a party at the house, and he was like telling all the kids to take their shoes off. He's like, you shouldn't be running around with your shoes. And I remember being like, yo, dude, it's not your house. But my uncle also didn't play that stuff. He didn't mess around. He didn't play that shit. Real talk. So we all took our damn shoes off anyway. But all the kids were like, yo, man, we've been running around the house this whole time. Like, the floor is going to be dirty. Anyhow, that's a long story. I did not grow up with it, but I remember thinking to myself, when I have my own place, we're doing a no shoes policy. Because I was working in New York City one time, and I stepped into like a puddle of like that trash water, that garbage water. I was wearing a brand new, like a fresh new pair of white Converse All Stars. I had to throw them out that same afternoon because they were so nasty. And I just thought to myself, if we're stepping all over this sort of nastiness, fecal matter, urine all the time, you don't want it in your house, especially since you walk around all barefoot. So I dig the idea of being at home and having no shoes policy. I think it's a little odd doing it at the office. But at the same time, if they're giving you slippers or slip-ons, I kind of dig it. Have a little shoe locker. Although it may affect you if you're like the type of person who's really into shoes and your shoe game is about it. You may have an issue with it. Just saying. What do you think, though? You think it makes sense to have a no shoes office policy? Would you not be down with it? Are you concerned with odors? I feel like, right, if you're showing up to work and it's early in the morning, provided you washed up the night before or the morning of, your feet should smell fine. Unrelated, when I'm in the airplane, I like to take my shoes off. Typically, my socks are clean and everything. I'm not walking around like that. I just like to have my shoes off. I don't like sitting around for like 4 hours with my shoes on. I don't know. Call me a weirdo. It probably is a little bit weird, so you might be fine calling me a weirdo, but I'll allow it just this once. Anyway, next story. With replay review and robot umps, who is still trying to become an MLB umpire, a Major League Baseball umpire? I don't know why the word MLB was so hard for me to read initially. A Major League Baseball umpire. Who's trying to be one? Not me. It seems it's a lot of games. Although, you keep busy. You get to watch baseball. If you're a baseball fan, you love watching baseball games. I feel like an umpire job is great for you. But what's up with AI and robots trying to replace umpires? I mean, has there been an issue with umpires in the past? Now we're going to have robots? This is how the robot wars happen. This is how they start. First, you'll have robot umpires. Then the players will, start messing around with them, throwing balls at them, disrespecting them. All of a sudden, robot umpires are taking out the baseball players. Is that what you want? Is that what you want in Major League Baseball? Because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a future where robot umpires are murdering. Why not just do robot baseball players? Now that I think about it, why don't we just all lose our jobs? Why do we need athletes? Just have those damn robot Boston Dynamics robots. I mean, they could do backflips now. If you could do a backflip, I assume you can probably hit a baseball, run around the bases. Wouldn't that be fun when all of our jobs are replaced by AI? I got questions though, right? Everything is being replaced by robots and AI. Number one, who's gonna keep buying your shit? when we're not working anymore. And then two, I forgot what number two was. I'll get to it, but on to the next story is how we're doing it today. Loyalty is dead. Is that for the economy? Loyalty is dead. AT&T CEO John Stanley's viral memo says the quiet part out loud about the broken state of corporate workplace. This one is like a whole ass story. I don't. Nah, fuck that. That one's leaving here. You're not gonna be here anymore. Burrito Bowl Blues. I've got the Chipotle Burrito Bowl Blues. That's Joey, what you think about that? My little rendition of the Burrito Bowl Blues.
A 2-pack of ass.
Thanks, Joe. Anyhow, the Burrito Bowl Blues. Chipotle became a Wall Street darling and a wall of shame employer. This one is another essay, man. I don't know if the essays are gonna work for me. I just need an article. You know what I mean? So the next part, this one is pretty interesting. I'll play the video, but first I'll start here. So, China's youth unemployment is so bad that Gen Z job seekers are paying $7 a day to pretend to work in an office. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, wow, that's weird. Why would they do that? Couple reasons. So first off, you know, it's the culture is slightly different than it is out here. Well, slightly different. That's an underestimation. That's a over exaggeration. That's a simplification of it. Ultimately, it's very different from here. So over there, their parents look at them with shame if they don't have a job. You know, it's super embarrassing. So a lot of these kids would choose to spend $7 a day to work in a fake office, make it look like they're working so that their parents aren't judging them. And also for some of them, you know, it's a little bit more self-esteem. You know, rather than sitting home, sitting in bed all day depressed, you're at least going into an office, going to some sort of workplace, and you know, I don't know. I've never done that before, although some of my jobs have kind of felt like that in the past. But at least you're up and you're moving about. So they say people do this so that they are also networking with other individuals. They can get together in these places and work on their own startups, etc. But it's interesting that China is having issues with Gen Z unemployment because we're starting to see a lot of that too, like a big rise of that, and it's kind of scary. But let's check out this news story a little bit.
This is the reception area, but there's nobody there. This is our workspace. There are computers and printers, but they don't work.
Here, about 15 people pretend they're working.
This is an office with a nice view, but we only use it to play video games and take naps.
In actual fact, these fake employees are jobless, choosing instead to pay €6 daily to spend up to 8 hours a day here. The office used to be a travel agency, and they like to pretend it is still one for some work-like activity.
It's a fake trip to Macau. It costs 170
I'd love
euros.
to take a nap in that
For
office.
21-year-old Danny Wu, it's the extra touch that makes the concept enticing and believable.
It's kind of depressing,
I take
man.
photos
But
of my work environment. My family always asks me what I do. I can give them proof.
it's kind of depressing. But I
This
feel
is a
like that's the
bogus
direction we'll
business
all be
registration
moving
certificate she will
to
later
shortly,
show her
right?
parents.
And in more
A growing
work news, here's one. You know, people can't find jobs, and now ex-Superman actor Dean Cain, he's going to be sworn in as an honorary ICE agent. Actually, he's currently in law enforcement, encouraging Americans to be. Superman is encouraging Americans to become real-life superheroes by answering the country's call to join the brave men and women of ICE to help protect our communities, to arrest the worst of the worst. ICE is looking to recruit an additional 10,000 new personnel. So, you know, for all you people that say you can't find jobs, well, ICE is hiring. Oh, remember it used to be UPS is hiring? No, they're not. ICE is hiring, man. So, yeah, you can go work at the border. I feel like you have to live near a border, though, right? Like, you can't be... Can you live in, like, Idaho? Is Idaho near any border? I guess there's a border with Canada. Are we worried about the Canadian border? Do we have a lot of ICE agents working at the Canadian border? If you're an ICE agent working at the Canadian border, you know, underground, trying to stop those sneaky Canucks, you let me know. Although, honestly, it's probably, they say a lot of refugees are coming from all over the world, and they're sneaking through different countries. So, yeah, we could have some, I guess, I don't know, Venezuelans coming from Canada or trying to. I don't know. I feel like the Mexico border might be a little bit easier, especially because I hear they burrow and tunnel underneath it. I don't know if you can tunnel underneath I don't know. I don't know much about borders and sneaking across borders. But I once had a chance, maybe in another, with the multiverse, right? There's a multiverse, so maybe in a version of the multiverse, I am a coyote. Huh? Maybe that version of Andy in the multiverse. Would his name still be Andy even? It could be something like Andre, or maybe the wolf, or maybe it would just be coyote. Maybe that's what he, anyway, I don't know. Maybe the coyote version of me in the multiverse understands the borders and how you would maneuver around southern and northern borders of the United States, but I am, I do not know. But hey, if you want to follow in the steps, how much do you think ICE border agents are getting paid? I looked it up. It says like a lot of like, I can't recall. I think it was starting like 43. It could have been 63. I'm not going to look it up again at this point. I'm already here. Maybe it says it in the article, actually. It was offering recruitment bonuses of up to $50,000. Really, a bonus of up to 50 grand? See, now you got to understand, like with those bonuses, right? They're typically paid to you in increments, and usually the bonuses, when it says up to 50 grand, that's going to be for people who are bringing in certain experience and things like that. So probably if you were trained by another law enforcement agency, maybe if you have multiple degrees, that's going to add to the bonus you're getting. If you're just Johnny coming off the street, might be like a $3,000 bonus, which is still nice, but it ain't going to be $50,000. Like if your salary is going to be like $43,000, you're going to make more than half of it in signing bonuses, just FYI. But anyway, you can be super. You could be a superhero for your country. Fucking corny, right? Inside JP Morgan's soaring new office tower and all its high-end perks. So this building, my company's office is located right around the company. Knock on wood, my company. Who knows how long I'll be there? They might replace me with a flipping robot soon enough. Robot won't be as handsome as me, though. So this new office tower, state-of-the-art membership gym. All these state-of-the-art state of the gym. Let's see. The bank's communities will only be available to employees assigned to work it when the building fully open. The company has said it would use the gym to have to pay membership fee. It's going to be like $9,000. Why would you pay for a gym inside your work office when you could just... Equinox is nicer, dude. Fuck out of here, man. Your employees have to pay a gym fee. In-office wellness center. They always had a wellness center. Nature elements of nature, from light to air to materials. Smart tech and AI. Bro, let me just tell you this. If you're going to be working in this new tower here, you're going to have to be one of those high-performing individuals. You're going to be like an AI. You're going to be something. You're not going to be some schmuck who is in operations and controls. Me, I was in operations and controls, and that basically just means we were working with corporate operations and controls, like regulations and things like that. So I was not in a line of business that's bringing money into the company. And let me tell you, when you're not bringing money into the company, you don't matter. No. This office is going to be for the people that are bringing money in. So that'll be nice. It'll be nice to see all the new, well-heeled people working around the corner from me. And finally, the last story of today. No real flow to this, but we're working on it. MAGA to Elon Musk. We want you back. Stop the love you save, maybe your own. So they want Elon Musk. MAGA figures increasingly have a new message for Elon Musk. We want you back. Vice President J.D. Vance said he hopes Musk comes back into the fold by the 2026 midterm. See, they know it's time for MAGA to mend fences with Elon Musk. So basically, they know that for them to really do anything during the midterm elections, they're going to need Elon Musk's help because they're all corny. They are all of them corny, and Donald Trump is going to be retiring soon. And they just don't have the personalities, man. Although, I mean, Elon Musk has a personality, I guess. People love him. I don't know why they love him so much, but I don't love him. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think about this? If you were Elon Musk, would you come back? Didn't he take like a $1 salary, and they still treat, well, he just got a $30 billion payout, so I guess that didn't matter to him. It was just a wash. Would you go back? Would you make him kiss the ring? I'd say, yo, I come back if Donald Trump kisses my ring. And then they'd be like, Elon, you don't wear a ring. He'd be like, well, hold up. Hold my beer. I'm going to go get one. Would you make someone kiss your ring? I don't know. A little... would you make someone kiss your ring? What would you do if you were in Elon Musk's position? Would you go back? Would you let them cower? Wasn't he trying to start his own political party? The American Independence, the Freedom Party, something. I can't recall what the Woke Party. He's starting some new party. I don't remember what it's called, but anyway, that's all the news that we've got for you this week. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I had a smashing time. I'll catch you on the next one.